Hey guys, I'm Aiko from Folius Ventures, covering AI and gaming, and it's very honored to be here to be moderator for our amazing guests, Ethan from Myshell and Niraj from Rachel. So how about for our audiences who are not familiar with Myshell and Rachel, how about briefly introduce what you guys are building behind the scene?
I'm Ethan from Myshell, and at Myshell we are building the AI consumer layer. I think today's topic is about the roll up. I think a lot of projects like Rachel is building fantastic infrastructures for AI, and we are focused more on the creator side. So at Myshell we are providing like dozens of different AI models that's hosted on our GPU clusters. So for any kind of non-technical creators, it's relatively easy for them to build any generic applications, ranging from AI companion, utility tools, and some of the personalized automation tools. So I think the crypto side is going to be more around creator economy for the creator incentive, and also I think nowadays the scale of the AI applications is relatively small. It's hard to go public on the stock market, but crypto we have the more flexible financial system. So it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of new type of AI assets going to be on the crypto space.
Hey guys, my name is Niraj and I'm one of the founders at Ritual. What Ritual does and what we aim to do is decentralize AI and kind of accelerate the adoption and creation of it. What Ritual does is we are a chain that makes it very easy for you to build AI-enabled dApps. So if you want to build something on top of Llama or on top of Stable Diffusion or anything like that, we provide a full stack toolkit and AI workflows, with privacy proofs and incentives to be able to drive that outcome. We think there's a lot of really interesting applications in the AI crypto space, and we're really driving and pushing to make the accessibility of it much easier than it is today to be able to drive this future forward.
Yeah, fascinating. So I remember you guys did a partnership during this Denver. Like, how about tell our audiences what kind of partnership you guys made before, and what the future roadmap you guys are gonna build together in the crypto and AI space.
Yeah, I think I remember last year, very early time, probably in May, I talked with Sanil from Rachel. They just got the Rachel started. I think back then we are building more centralized solution, especially for the massive Web2 audience, because we have been working in the AI space for about 10 years, but majority of the time is in the traditional Web2 space, and our focus is more on the consumer side. So the infrastructure is kind of agnostic, both for our user and for us as a developer. So traditionally, all the model is hosted in a centralized ways, and we are the only authorities to bring the data on chain. But with Ritual's infra node, I think they are providing very easy to integrate SDK, and also the infra node is providing a lot of capabilities to bring the off-chain computation on chain. So that's really make the developers experience is easy.
Yeah, just to accentuate that a little bit, I think there's a lot of very interesting use cases to be built in AI crypto. And part of what excites me about building in this area is that it has the potential to reach millions of people and bring a bunch of people from outside of crypto into crypto. I think one of the challenges we have is in many of these subspaces of crypto, we've kind of reached, in some ways, some maximums within the crypto environment. AI has the opportunity, a lot of people in this room probably use AI, they probably use ChatGPT or something like that. And we have the potential to bridge a very open, accessible technology into the crypto space and provide it the crypto values. Combining the values of AI, which is this sort of abundance you get, and crypto, which are these tools for self-sovereignty.
Yeah, very interesting. Since you guys both choose the decentralized way to build AI, so could you tell a bit about what's the difference between like building AI or building what you guys are doing right now in a decentralized way, comparing with like traditional centralized way? What's the advantages out there?
Yeah, I think AI, I mean, people are always thinking like AI is more centralized because AI can drain all the computational power that's increased by NVIDIA every year. So especially the training phase, it's kind of centralized, in nature. But I think as we saw the vibrant development of open source models, there are like, I think, gonna be like dozens of different new models every week. That's gonna be on Hugging Face, GitHub. That's still relatively performance in different various vertical domains. I think it's just long-standing issue of that open source versus monetization is very hard. I think previously probably the Red Hat, who is the contributor of Linux, it's one of the successful case, but very few successful case to keep contributing to open source while having a good business or monetization for the company. I think with crypto, or I think our mission or the original thinking of crypto is to use the crypto as an incentive mechanism to keep the open development of AI models. So that's, I mean, we have the platform that hosts all these kind of AI open source models, and we're gonna give the incentive alignment to help the creators to use these models. So whenever a end consumer is using an application that's composed of multiple models, all the creators and all the model owners are gonna be incentivized in a way so that even though the model is open source, but we are providing the probably the easiest to use toolkit for the non-technical background people. That's why people are building with us, and we want to keep the open source development in the AI space. So we're gonna give them the token incentive for their contribution. So I think in this way, even though the model training phase is still in a centralized manners, but the model inference, especially with the richer internet, we can easily bring the usages on chain and to make the contribution more transparent and keep the development of AI in a permissionless and open source ways.
Yeah, I see it as, I think that's a great point. One of the challenges we have that's kind of hurting, I think, open source model development is the closed source models have a really strong distribution path. So they have an ability and a way to sort of plug into everything. They have, all the users. And so the best way for something like open source to fight back, I think, is to attach it to crypto networks, attach it to incentives, attach it to new products, and grow the amount of people that are building with open source models and create the right frameworks to allow them to all sort of interact on one network rather than, have differing incentives and kind of work across multiple different places. So the promise, I think, of crypto AI, and I think how it can help usher in decentralized AI is just enabling new use cases, new developers to do new things. Every time you create something new, a new way to define, mathematical logic or software logic or something like that, it enables a whole new host of applications. We saw this with Ethereum in 2014. We've seen this with some of the later kind of innovations with things like restaking and layer twos. And I think crypto AI is at that really important moment now where companies like Myshell are showing what the really exciting consumer use cases are and how we can kind of drive this forward.
Yeah. Since you guys are all like have deep knowledge and deep understanding about crypto and AI space, do you have any advice for example, like people from AI industry or from back to a Web2 background, if they want to like dive deep into crypto AI space, what's the easiest way for them to just get hands on and try a little bit more about the new technology and really maximize the potential of what we provide in this space?
I'm happy to take it first. So I would recommend if you're coming from the crypto perspective, I would recommend going and doing some ML 101 and going and learning about some of the basics of machine learning and where there might be interesting applications in crypto. I think if you're coming from a ML background, I don't imagine many in the room are, but if you are, a lot of the tooling that's available, I think will sort of make sense to you. I think a lot of the tooling is still, it's still more basic than it could be. And so I'd recommend playing around with ways that these two spaces can intersect. How can this infinite abundance piece you get with ML, how does the ability to kind of generate intelligence and crunch numbers and gather insights, and how can you take that and codify it into a crypto product? So that might be something like building new ways to build DeFi protocols. It might be ways to generate NFTs on chain. and a whole bunch of other things. So I'd recommend going and check out what Myshell's building. Go check out what we're building. We've put out a lot of educational content that we're hoping people will use so that they can use that as a way to inform their kind of product development.
Yeah, our team is more from a AI background, so we just entered the space about close to 2 years. I think the journey we have experienced is going to be a good example for any AI people to enter the space. I think the advice is just make your hand dirty. Just use MetaMask, play with all the DeFi's, even the meme coins. I mean, the experience is worth it. So you know what's happening in the crypto space, and you know the performance, the user journey, user experiences, like the gas fee, the social login, and all the new things that is happening right now. So I think because all this what's happening right now, it's all the middleware, or it's a toolkit that you as the founder that can leverage. I think in the end, it's probably the most important question is to define the right question and find the correct angle to achieve it, because there really needs to be a balance of centralization and decentralization, because nowadays it's not possible to run 7 billion models in EVM in a more permissionless ways. So you really need to know the current bottleneck and what's the existing tech stack in the blockchain space to find a good balance to build something that's is tangible to users, and it's actually leveraging crypto as a weapon to make your product more usable and providing more values.
Yeah. Those are super helpful advice for people who are interested in AI and crypto space. And I think since you guys are already talking about a lot of promising things happening in this space and what you guys are building, do you think there are any missing pieces right now for us to build a decentralized AI? Missing pieces, like what do we need to build a better future of crypto and AI?
I think more consumer apps would be one. So taking, I think, a lot of the inspiration from what happened in the Web 2 space and starting to build, I think, Web 3 enabled consumer applications with AI, I think is one way. Everything from putting recommendation systems into things like Farcaster and Lens to new ways to generate NFTs on chain. There's so many ideas. Certainly there are probably, some infrastructural pieces that could be built, but I think there's a lot of teams building in that area. And I would recommend people to go build in the consumer arena.
Yeah, I think to build a better consumer application, I mean, both in AI and non-AI space, it's really important to keep everything simplified. People, I mean, especially Web2 users, they don't understand anything like sacred phrase or the gas fees. I think it's not hard for them to be willing to pay for the gas fees, but they don't know where to buy Ethereum. So I think the gasless experiences is, for the new blockchains and especially for the layer 2 or other tech stack probably is the most important challenges I saw nowadays to onboard next 1 million Web2 users.
Fascinating. So my last question would be on how will you see what's gonna happening in decentralized AI space in 5 years or even 10 years? Because since you guys are all building very amazing stuff in this space, you definitely have the blueprint in your mind or some foresight stuff. So would you mind to sharing a bit more about your understanding? For example, in 5 years, what's going to happen in decentralized AI space?
Yeah, I think probably on-chain AI verifiability gonna be the most challenging but very fast-paced domain, because I think nowadays there are a lot of projects building verifiabilities both based on ZK or optimism, but it's actually for a smaller model to maintain good security and also decentralization. But nowadays we really have a lot of large models like 7 billion, even like 13 billion, and gonna be larger and larger. So how to bring this kind of models in the crypto space in a decentralized, permissionless, and secure ways it's the challenges that a lot of people is trying to solve. I think once this problem has much better progress, we're gonna really have a open and accessible AI models everywhere on chain. That's gonna be something that I'm so excited about.
Yeah, I think you said 5 and 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say in 5 years, my goal for crypto AI should be, the majority of the new created open source models are originated from crypto. And in some ways, the majority of AI applications, come from, crypto AI substrate. I think 10 years down the road, if we have these user-owned, operated, and governed models that are reaching, billions of people, I think that's when we have, solved a really interesting goal. And a lot of these questions around, privacy, integrity, mechanism design, we'll really have a good understanding of if it worked or not in 10 years.
Yeah, fascinating. So thank you for guys sharing. It's very insightful. But last but not least, what's the best way for people to know better about what you guys are building in Myshell and in Ritual, and what's the best way for people to contact you guys?
Yeah, so we are consumer-facing app, and the product is already launched 1 year ago. So just check out myshell.ai. You can just play around it, or even be a creators.
For us, Twitter is a good place. RitualNet, so RITUALNET. And then our website is ritual.net, so RITUAL.net. Those are the best places. We publish there, semi-regularly. And then a lot of our team publishes stuff too. So if you go to our following on Twitter and go follow some of those people, they tweet a wide variety of things related to us.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for all the audiences. It was very nice chatting with you guys in the panel.